So, today we're going to be talking about working and doing business in South Africa as a foreigner. So, what I noticed is that a lot of people don't understand the laws behind working as a foreigner in South Africa, and this is both foreigners and a lot of South Africans. We're going to talk about work visas, we're going to talk about business visas, we're going to talk about asylums, and some of the key contacts that you can call to get this information. So, what does it take to get a work visa, right? In order to get a job, right, as it says here, foreign nationals must hold a valid work visa before taking up employment in South Africa. Employers must prove that no suitable South African citizen is available for the role. We're going to get into that just now, but what they basically mean is that an employer needs to first find South Africans to hire, and if they can't, then that's when they can hire people with employment-based visas. And then to start a business, you need to establish or invest in a South African business under a business visa or a critical skills visa. All right. And then third, we have asylum seekers. I think this is where most of the conversation is around and where there's a lot of confusion. Right. So we're just going to quickly dive into these three and discuss what's going on. And also, let me know what you think of this presentation. I used Cloud AI. Is it Cloud or Cloud? We'll see. So, guys, as you can see here, when you need a job as a foreigner in South Africa, these are the documents that are required, right? So you need a valid passport, you need a completed application form, you need photographs, you need a medical certificate, you need a police clearance, you understand, proof of qualifications, proof of financial means. You need to have a letter from an employer, right? So how do you apply these other steps? So you gather these documents. Once you've gathered them, you go to the VFS or SA mission to basically drop your forms, and then you pay a prescribed fee to get biometrics, and then you'll await the decision. So as you can see, it takes 8 to 10 weeks, meaning 2 to 3 months before this decision has been made, right? And just to get back to this part here, your employer must advertise and post and show that no SA citizen is suitable. This is very important. Why do I say that? When you come from another country and you want to work in South Africa, right, there are certain skills, scarce skills that are required where you can just apply. For those jobs, you sort of don't need to go through these steps and whatnot, right? And for a regular job, the employer must advertise and show that no citizen is suitable, meaning that no one else in South Africa could be hired for the job. All right. So that's one of the most important rules or the most important steps in this process. You must understand, an employer must have advertised and they failed to find anyone in South Africa. That's when they can say, no, you know what, guys, let's try and find someone from another country to assist us. All right. Right. There are jobs or rather careers that require highly skilled professionals. So as you can see here, we have healthcare, education, engineering, built environment, we have finance, we have law, ICT, and science. So if you are a part of these, then no prior job offer is required, right? So you need to be 100% sure that your work is a part of these critical skills. If it's not, then you fall under the previous requirement, which is to apply for a normal job visa or work visa, right? But this one is a critical skills work visa. So if you are a part of these, there's a list, I believe, online that you can check for that gives you like the entire list, where you can look and see if the job that you're applying for, if it's a critical skill or not. This is very important. You need to find out before coming to South Africa that the job that you do is critical in South Africa or it's not. If it's not, then you're going to fall under your regular work visa, and you saw the requirements are a bit different. You see, they require forms and whatnot, but if it's critical, then now you just jump in, just cross there normally, and you can look for a job, right? But it's also through applications. You need to apply like everyone else. It's just that this way it's a bit easier than a work visa, right? So for general work visas and corporate visas, I want to highlight, there's something that I picked up that I want to highlight just here. Yeah. So as you can see here, for a general work visa, the employer's labor market test needs to be implemented. Proof of advertising, I discussed this previously, but this is very important. For general work visas, it needs to be shown to the labor market that, hey, we did try and find someone and we couldn't find them, right? And since we didn't find them, we need to hire someone who is an immigrant, because here in South Africa, we can't find the person. So this is a certificate that you get from the Department of Employment and Labor, confirming that no SA national is available, right? Why is this important? It's important because now we are involving the law. The law is now telling us that, hey, Vele, we can't find someone, right? And if there is someone, the Department of Labor, Employment and Labor, will then say, no, guys, you can't say that, because here is a bunch of people in our database who are qualified for this, right? So that's why it's crucial that a company does have that certificate from the Department of Labor. And then for corporate visa, this is now a company from or rather, this is now when someone wants to invest in South Africa. Let's say you want to open a business that does, let's say you build fridges. Yeah, let's just make an example. Your company builds fridges, right? And you want to operate in South Africa. In order for that to happen, you must have a corporate visa. It allows a company and not individuals to employ a specified number of foreign nationals used by large corporations. Individual employees still need to be listed on the corporate visa, right? So these are the laws, as you can see, and this is also going to be broken down in a few moments. But an application must be submitted by the employer, not the individual. The company must be registered in South Africa. It must indicate how many foreign workers are needed. Employees must hold skills not available in South Africa. All employees must still meet individual medical and clearance requirements, and the maximum 3 years per corporate visa. So every 3 years it has to be renewed, right? But we're just going to break this down a bit further, because now when you operate such a business in South Africa, at least 60% of your employees must be South African. All right. So now these are the business visa requirements. Foreigners who intend to establish or invest in a business in South Africa that contributes to the economy. Minimum investment of 5 million. So if you have 4.5 meter and you want to get a business visa in South Africa, it's going to be declined. All right. You need to have a business plan. You need to have at least 60% of South African citizens at your company. You need to register with CIPC. You need to get police clearance and all these certificates for medical and radiology. Financial proof. So that 5 meter that's being spoken of, it needs to be proven that yes, you do have 5 million business capital. CIPC, you register your company, 50 Rand, and 75 for the forms. You get a tax number. This is important here, right? But this is for businesses. We're going to get into tax for individuals in a second. But this is important. Get a tax number. Register with SARS for income tax. This is mandatory, You understand? So that whenever you open a business bank account, we can see as a country that, man, this person is actually earning this much, and this is how much we need to tax them. You understand? You need to register for VAT if needed. This is when your annual turnover exceeds $1 million. And obviously, there's a high chance that it's going to exceed $1 million if your capital is 5 million. All right. And then obviously, you need your licenses. You can't now go and sell booze without a license. And this is not only for foreigners or immigrants, this is also for South Africans. Asylum seekers. This is where the majority of the problem is with our country, and there's a lot of illegal foreigners in the country, and the confusion comes here when it comes to asylum seekers, where it's like someone else, I have papers, but you've had your papers for like 3 years, and they're supposed to be valid for 2 that time. You understand? So as you can see here, this is when work is granted for refugees, and there's a process that needs to be followed, where Section 22 is talking about when you are applying, and then Section 24 is when you are now officially a refugee. You're recognized officially as a refugee. You fully have your papers, right? So while you're applying, this can be, or rather, it must be renewed regularly every 3 to 6 months until your refugee status is determined. So when you apply in South Africa as a refugee, there's a time when your status is still pending. The country still doesn't recognize you as a refugee. Your status is still pending, and you are waiting to be assigned, whether you are a refugee or not, right? And then you can work or run a business in South Africa during this time. It's allowed, right? And employers, as you can see, they cannot refuse to hire people solely based on this permit type. So while someone is still waiting for this to be, fully sorted out, they must carry a permit at all times. But no employer can refuse to hire them, right? And they cannot travel outside of South Africa without special permission. So when you land in the country, you land and then you apply for asylum. And then while you are waiting for that, you can still work, and you must carry your permit at all times, and you mustn't move out of the country. You must stay in the country until they can tell you that, okay, now you are approved, you are a recognized refugee, right? You can operate, do whatever you like. Well, not really do whatever you like, but operate. However, during that time, while you are still waiting for your application, you can operate, and when you're operating, it doesn't really say how much must you earn or what. You can earn whatever amount, right? And you're basically just a worker who is legal, but you will be paying taxes, you will be paying VAT, but you are recognized as someone who's in the country, right? And there's a thing where a lot of immigrants come in and then they apply for asylum, it expires, and then they continue working. That is illegal and it's wrong. It shouldn't be done. And that's what a lot of South Africans are complaining about, that someone will be in the country and they'll be working for nothing. Like they'll be working for without being legal. They'll be working without having papers. You understand? And that means you are not paying taxes because the country doesn't recognize you. It's as if you are not there. So you're making money and sometimes you're sending it back home, but it's not benefiting the country in any way, shape, or form. You understand? And then we move over to the Section 24, where you are now a recognized refugee, right? So this is when we say that this person is under distress and they will be able to work in any sector in our country as a permanent resident. So the second part says full right to work in any sector similar to a permanent resident. So this is when they say, no, this person is distressed. Let's give them recognized refugee status, and now they can work as anyone. You understand? You can even start a business without a business visa. You remember business visa has those requirements, all that's 60%, what you can do all of those, as long as you are a recognized refugee. Right. You also have the right to access social services and education. So in South Africa, if you cannot afford to take your child to school, education is free. You understand? You just need to prove that you don't have the means and all of that. So what this is saying is that you now have the right to those things, and this is valid for 2 years and renewable. You understand? You can apply for permanent residence after 5 continuous years. Right, but please take note that you need to apply 12 months before your thing expires. So just think of it as 4 years, because now if you hit your 5th year and you try to apply, it takes long. Now you are illegal again, and it's a whole process. It's something that needs to be then addressed a different way. I understand. But as you can see, you first apply, and while you're waiting for that status, you do have the right to work and run a business. And as soon as you have it, you do. But the whole point of this is so that you can be taxed. You can be taxed and enjoy the right to social services and education, and also you are contributing to the country's economy. All right. So if you're an asylum seeker and you're starting a business, obviously you saw that you need to either be applying for it, or you need to be recognized, and then you register, or rather you register at CIPC, and then you get your tax registration. This is important because you can't make money in a country and not pay income tax. Understand? So this is very important. And then for the country to see that you actually are, or rather how much you're making, you must have a business bank account so that you are taxed properly, right? And then licenses, obviously, in that important part of 60% SA. So imagine now, it wouldn't really make sense for like 500, for example, 500 refugees come in, and then they open a business and it only hires refugees. You see, that's going to be a problem for that part, so it really will be illegal if you were to do that. You understand? So here are the contexts. I'm just going to quickly swipe through this. I'm sure you can pause this part and look through these. I'm not going to go through them. These are self-explanatory. So to close this off, these are the takeaways. Always have a valid visa or permit. Evaluate your qualifications. Register your business properly. You see, you must comply with SA tax laws. This is very important. You must comply with SA tax laws so that the country benefits from your presence. You understand? And obviously, asylum seekers have rights. But you must renew your stuff, guys. You must always be up to date with what you require, right? And then, guys, I'm also going to break down, if I do get some time, I'll also break down some of the special laws that South Africa has, because South Africa has some special laws between Lesotho, Swaziland, Eswatini. Sorry, it is called Eswatini right now. So Lesotho, Eswatini, Botswana, Mozambique, and with Zimbabwe, it's not really special laws. It's more exceptions, but we'll get into that. If I do get time to discuss that, we will get into that. But South Africa has special laws for different countries when it comes to refugee statuses and employment statuses and business visas, right? So please let me know if you liked this presentation, if I should do more like these so people can understand what's going on with regards to businesses. And as I always say, guys, knowledge is a powerful weapon. Arm yourselves, and thanks for watching. Peace.